Hello and welcome to Competitive Crunch. My name is Spade and the controversial topic of the day is SwagPlay. And this is a quote-unquote strategy that consists of the move Swagger, the ability Prankster, and it is usually seen in conjunction with Paralysis support and Foul Play. And recently, a lot of people on the Smogon community have been complaining about it. This, again, quote-unquote strategy has been gaining a lot more popularity, and that's why Smogon, or Hunter here, decided to address it by making this topic. So, as of now, Smogon is not planning to ban this SwagPlay, or they are not even planning to suspect test it, but because a lot of people are talking about this, they needed to take some measures against it and at least ask people's opinions on it. So perhaps they will do something about it, but first they want to hear what the community thinks. They're not just going to ban it right off the bat or even going to suspect test it. They are just talking about it because there is a lot of controversy surrounding it. And basically there are three main reasons or things that they could do to it. They could ban the move Swagger, alright? Then they could ban Swagger in conjunction with the ability Prankster, which would be a complex ban. Something that Smogon wants to avoid at all cost, I'd say. And then they also had the option to ban the individual Pokemon, mainly Klefki and Liepard. I guess there are few other Pokemon that can kind of pull it off. They don't have access to all the necessary moves, but like I guess Sableye, maybe Mega Banette, it has Prankster, T-Wave, and then there's I guess even Whimsicott has, you know, Prankster and Stun Spore, I think, and then Swagger. But it doesn't have Foul Play. Same thing with like Mega Banette. Does it get Foul Play? Maybe it does. But, you know, mainly the two Pokemon that can pull this off are Klefki and Liepard. And especially Klefki, I think that Pokemon is the face of this quote-unquote strategy. You see a lot of Swagger T-waving Klefkis around. So that's where the buzz is coming from. But let's address these options here again. So the also one thing I gotta mention first is some people are, you know, simply comparing this strategy to Evasion Clause. You know, there's Evasion Clause, which is a completely luck-based strategy. So why couldn't this SwagPlay, as Smogon calls it, why could this strategy not be banned in a similar manner as we have Evasion Clause and the moves, you know, Minimize and Double Team are banned? Why couldn't they just do it like that? Ban this strategy as they have the Evasion Clause, so maybe have some Swag Clause made. But here's the difference, you know, moves like Double Team and Minimize, they are banned on every Pokemon that uses them. We all know they are dick moves, and they completely rely on luck. And any Pokemon can just get lucky enough to get off one boost, and then get another, and then soon be impossible to hit it. So it's broken on every Pokemon. That's why it's really easy to ban. No, there's nothing to it. Really simple ban, the Evasion Clause. But when you think about SwagPlay, you have all these things. You have the move Swagger, ability Prankster, then the Para support, and then Foul Play. It consists of these four things. And the only Pokemon that can efficiently pull these shenanigans off are really Klefki and Liepard, for the most part. Like I said, you know, maybe Sableye, Whimsicott, and Mega Banette to lesser extent. But it's mainly about these two, and especially about Klefki. So this strategy is not broken on all Pokemon, because there are a lot of Pokemon that cannot even pull this off, and it's a combination of moves, not just one thing. So that right there makes this a complicated matter. And so banning the move Swagger is kind of difficult because, you know, it's only broken on these things. These few things, not on all of them. So do you want to ban Swagger because of it? Certainly is an option, because it's not really a viable strategy on anything to begin it, so nobody would really miss it. except a few random hipsters who would miss it, but you know, for the most part, nobody would miss it because nobody uses that move to begin with, because it is so luck-based and inefficient in middle of a battle. So that could be an option, but still controversy because broken only on a couple Pokemon basically. Then there's the option of banning the Swagger with the ability Prankster in conjunction. Together they would be banned, not separately. And you know, that's just a complex ban, and Smogon wants to avoid them at all costs. Because when you go into the Pandora's box of the complex bans, then there's, you know, gonna be reasons to do more complex ban, because it's just the thing that one complex ban just leads to more complex bans, and you don't want that, because they are complicated. You just want to avoid them at all costs. That makes the competitive scene, the Smogon metagame, even more confusing than it already is. So this I think is the least likely option that Smogon would consider if they were to do this kind of ban. So yeah, let's just rule this out for now and move on to the last one. So they could ban the individual Pokemon like Klefki and Liepard, but otherwise than the SwagPlay shenanigans that, you know, at this time are gaining popularity, these Pokemon aren't really too broken. Like they're kind of harmless Pokemon besides the SwagPlay luck-based strategy. So, you know, that's also a really really the kind of option that your Smogon doesn't want to do. Because you don't want to ban things like Klefki and Liepard. Not really broken Pokemon. But there is still a controversy about this whole strategy. And Smogon or Hunter here is just presenting a few options to talk about. These are, again, not being banned. I'm sure somebody will again freak out in the comments that, no, Smogon is doing a stupid decision, when in reality they're not doing anything. They're just talking about it because there's a lot of buzz in the community, so they need to talk about it. And you know, Smogon is a community website. That's why they talk about things with the community before they actually go and do stuff. Their bans are driven by the community who can take part in their suspect testing. That's how the Smogon community rules. That's why it's called a community, because it's a community kind of website forum kind of thing. So I would like to hear your opinions on this, and definitely if you have an account on the Smogon forums, go and leave your 2 cents there. And there are a couple of things here that you should also take into account. Now, personally, haven't really seen this strategy too much. I know it's gaining, you know, some momentum. It's been gaining some momentum recently, but still in general I haven't really seen it too much, so I guess I cannot say too much, but I still do know that it's a completely luck-based strategy, but it's only seen on these couple of few things, so I don't think, at least at the moment, that it's an issue. And especially since it's gaining momentum now, you know, I'm sure eventually people will realize that, you know, it's not really a viable strategy and they will drop it. And certainly, I don't think it will gain too much popularity. I think on the bottom of the ladder, you will see it more because it's a luck-based thing. It's really hard to try and ladder with this thing because it's not an efficient strategy. It completely relies on luck, and at some point you will just run out of luck and not win with it. So I don't think it's a big problem because it's not an efficient strategy, but certainly it is a really controversial strategy, so that's why Smogon is addressing it. But from personal perspective, I wouldn't ban it because it is not that efficient, and I would just wait to see how things are going to advance. You know, if SwagPlay is a thing now, is it going to still be a thing like after a month or so? I would wait for a month or two and then see what is up. Are people still pulling off the shenanigans and are, people getting really frustrated by this, and then I would look into this matter again. But it's a luck-based thing. Of course, it is extremely annoying because it's basically a coin flip when you go for swagger. And on that note, I can see why people would want to see this gone. But in order to do that, it would require some sort of complex or at least a complicated ban because of the controversies surrounding this strategy and the multiple things that it requires to be pulled off, and there's only a couple of things that can do it. But I'm not gonna ramble about this anymore, and I just want to know your comments, and definitely if you are a member of the Smogon forums, go write your 2 cents on there, and also let me know in the comment section below so we could have an interesting discussion in the comments again. But again, please do note that Smogon is not banning this strategy, neither they are suspect testing it, they are just talking about it because it's controversial. And with that, I will stop repeating myself and stop rambling, and I want to see your comments in the comment section below. Also, let me know if you have some interesting topics that I should talk about it, and I will consider it. I've got a few ideas from you guys, a few ideas of my own, but always more is appreciated, so I can keep this show flowing and stuff like that. So let me know all that stuff in the comments below, and I will check you guys on the next controversial episode of Competitive Crunch. Until then, this is Spade rambling and signing out. Peace.
SwagPlay.